Hey guys, Dave with Moneyology here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today's Monday, January 29th, 2018. This is part 3 of our top picks review of the biotech sector. We've gone through 300 names and we're making several videos here, and each video is covering 10 companies, 10 stocks that we think have a great opportunity to do really well in the coming weeks and months ahead. So let's have a look at what we've got going on here. So starting with Brainstorm Cell Therapeutics BCLI, this one has had a very nice run from a low of 190 all the way to a high of about 518, and it's pulled back since then, but right now it's consolidating right above the 200 on the weekly moving average, right below the 50, and it is below the middle Bollinger Band, so we're not going to touch it until it breaks above that. But wanted to point out something here. The MACDs are starting to curl higher. That's very important. And it's starting to build a little bit of momentum on RSI. So what we want to see here is it break above that 50 or start curling back higher towards that 50. If it can do that, it'll likely coincide with this break above $4, and that likely tells us that this move higher is going to resume and likely head again higher towards that 850 area. We'll see what happens. Right now we're not touching this, but definitely one to keep an eye out for. Next on the list is Cancer Genetics, CGIX. This one had a very nice run from 110 to 478. It's pulled back quite a bit here. You know, if you bought here, you're not too happy holding here. But at the same time, this is the perfect place to find support. Why? Well, this is precisely the place where it broke out from, and now it's pulled back and it's building a new base here, and it's doing so while it's building this the PPO or MACD, same thing basically. The MACDs are starting to curl higher, and looks like they're getting set towards breaking above zero. Meanwhile, while it's consolidating in a horizontal pattern, RSI is building momentum here. So that's positive divergence. That's what you want to see. So just keep an eye out for this one. It could move higher towards that 270 level, but for us to go long, we want to see this trend line broke into the upside, and likely that coincides with MACDs above zero. RSI likely breaks above 50 at that point. That's when this can really run, likely towards that $8 level. But until then, it's got a lot of work to do. Calabasas Pharmaceuticals, CATB, another one that's had a very nice run from 109 to 378. It's pulled back quite a bit. Again, it's consolidating right at that previous breakout point. It's had quite a bit of time to consolidate its gains here. MACDs are now starting to curl. So and it's finding support here, is basing around that 40 level on RSI, which is precisely the point. Notice here, this is where this broke out around this area, and this is the RSI point at which the breakout occurred. No surprise here, and that same point is now serving as support. So that's what you want to see hold. I think it will. Probability is fairly high that it does so, and if it does, then you want to see the start curling up, and that's when you're going to start looking to potentially go long. Break above 205 likely sends shares much higher. I think this ultimately gets to $4 to $5 certainly to fill this gap. Might take a while to do so. So just this is one to keep on your radar. Not yet a buy from a longer term perspective. Celestar Biosciences, CLRB. This one is very interesting right now. It's been basing basically for 2 years here, but it's starting to build some momentum. It basically double bottomed here, but double bottomed with positive RSI divergence, where price basically bottomed, and whereas momentum didn't bottom, and it's actually rallying. And so this is a nice risk reward play. I think with the MACDs getting set to break above zero, I think this can make a very quick and nice run at 250. If this breaks the 250 zone, then there's a lot of daylight here. Could possibly go $5, $10, $20 just on technical upside, but obviously there's got to be some fundamental catalyst behind that such a move to happen. Canadian Pharmaceuticals, CNAT. Another one that's had a nice run from a low of about 140 to a high of 940. It's consolidated its gains now, pulled back all the way to 388, but now with the MACDs having crossed above zero, it's had a really nice run from about 388 all the way to 570. Now it's kind of stalling slightly here under that 60-61 level in RSI, which has been resistant several times here before. But it looks like with MACDs really starting to break out above zero. It's now firmly above that middle Bollinger Band, above the 200, above the 50. This looks like it's really poised to make a run for 9 and possibly break higher thereafter. So definitely want to look at that one. Concordia International, CXRX. This one looks interesting. It's bottomed since that 45 level, and the MACDs are firming very well. It's moving. The price is moving in an upward trajectory here, and RSI is doing so as well. So not necessarily divergence, but nonetheless, it looks like it wants to move higher. And first price target really is 125, with a stop here below that 62 level. Is a pretty nice risk reward, and then could potentially run on any positive announcement to all the way up to 250. I like this one here. Corbus Pharmaceuticals, CRPB. This one looks very strong. It's been consolidating for about 12 months and looks ready to break out. One of our best indicators is that RSI is diverging very heavily to the upside. Why do we say that? Well, price here is at 950. Momentum is higher today than when the price was at 1030, basically, and not as high here, but this could be a very good point to consider a breakout. So want to see what happens above 10. That's your signal to buy long if that does happen. CYCC. This one is one of our favorite charts in this particular watch list. It's been basing since July. And it's been building this positive divergence on RSI. Slowly but surely, it's setting up for a nice run. MACDs are basically at multi-year highs. RSI is at multi-month highs, and it's leading price. And so a run towards 250 is definitely in the cards, and this might go much higher if it can break out of this 250 and coincides with this EMA of 275 zone. Next on the list is CYTX Satori Therapeutics. This one looks very good. This is probably our favorite chart on this list. It's basically been bottoming out. Look, hit 28 cents here, hit 21 cents. But what happened? Momentum was higher at 21 cents versus when price was at 28 cents. Positive divergence. It's building this base RSI. It found support at 38. Now breaking towards the 50. This can really run. If this breaks above that, I'd say this about a 75 cent zone, this can run towards 125 easily and break out much higher thereafter. MACDs are at multi-year highs, RSIs at multi-month highs, and so this is a very good risk-reward entry for us here. And finally on the list is another one that looks very, very promising, CYTR. It's been getting killed. Management kind of stinks on this one, or so the public perception is. But it's been basing, then it's had this bullish flag, but it's still kind of breaking down. But you see the MACDs are now breaking above zero. You got some volume coming in here, and it's got this building momentum here on RSI. I have a sense that this wants to break out here. This might run towards 260 in not the too distant future. For us to go long, we actually want to see this break to the upside and then make a run towards 5 to 10. This is not the best technical pattern, but just want to keep this on your radar. If you're a day trader or do so based on daily charts, this one might be perking up, so keep an eye out for this. Again, our videos are from a weekly time frame. We're active investors, but we want to be investing in longer term uptrends, not necessarily in day trades. So different strategy, but know what philosophy floats your boat. I wanted to just point out, guys, Moneyology is on Patreon. If you're not familiar with Patreon, this is a basically Kickstarter for artists, and if you like the work that we do, please go on patreon.com/moneyology. Support us here. We're looking for $10 and $25 donations. Not donations, but basically you become our patrons and you support the work that we do. We try to give back some to the work to our patrons, and whether it's $10, $25, or $100, there's some nice perks that come with this, but ultimately it's supporting, in my opinion, a good cause. We're trying to create an active investing community, and with your support, we'll be able to do better work more often. We want to hit our first goal of $1,000 per month. It's going to allow us to do a lot more work, a lot more good things for you guys. We're not too far away. Just 10, 15 more donations, and we'll get there. And really appreciate it. So have a great week, and stay tuned for future videos.